Hey everyone! Today I'm here with two of my Reborn dolls. We have Eden on the right and Bennett on the left. And the reason why I have an open-eyed baby and a closed-eyed baby here is because today I wanted to film a how to make your Reborn baby look real in a car seat when you take them out, and just tips and tricks for you guys and some props you can use to make it a lot more realistic. I filmed a couple of these videos years ago, one in 2015 and one in 2016. So now that it's 2019, I decided to make a whole new one with some new tips added to it. Now I'll show you what I'm going to be using in this video. Of course, we have a car seat, a baby car seat head support, a blanket, a hanging toy, scratch mittens, a pacifier, a levy, a pacifier clip, some baby links, and a hanging baby sign. First, if you have a really little baby, then you'll want to put your head support in. Then you'll get your baby and you'll buckle them into the car seat. First, we're gonna buckle in Eden because she is awake, so she is a baby that's a little more tricky to take out without people noticing that she's not moving. When you buckle in your baby, you'll want to make sure that the chest strap is up on the chest where it's supposed to be. And you'll want to make sure that the straps are adjusted to your baby's size. So as you can see, this is too small for Eden because I had a different doll in here last time I went out with one of the babies. So there's a little button at the bottom of the car seat that I will push and pull the straps. And now the straps are a tiny bit loose, so I'll have to tighten them back up. For an open-eyed Reborn, you're definitely going to want a toy, especially if it's a little bit of an older baby like Eden. She's a little bit bigger than a newborn, so she would probably like some toys to look at. And of course, you'll have to position your baby so that it looks like they are looking at the toy. And this way, people walking by will just glance at her and think that she's just looking at her toy. One thing that makes babies look a lot more realistic, especially if they have an open mouth like she does, is a pacifier. So I have this little cupcake pacifier, and she just happens to take a cut pacifier very well. She looks adorable and very realistic like this already, but there are a few more things that I can do to make her seem even more realistic. A blanket is really good to have. So here I have a very thin muslin blanket. These are good for the summer. You can do a couple of different things with this blanket. So you can just put it over their lap like this. You can unfold it and put it over them, which is one of my favorite things to do because a lot of people notice that the baby is not breathing. They're a doll, they're not going to breathe. But if you want to make them look really realistic, you can kind of put the blanket up a little bit like this so that you wouldn't be able to see that anyway. And with your baby's hands, you can tuck them underneath the blanket as well so that people do not see that the baby isn't moving, especially if the baby has open eyes. Another way you can hide your baby's hands is to use scratch mittens, but for her, she's a little bit of an older baby, so I prefer not to. Another way that your blanket can come in handy, whether you are on a winter outing or a warmer weather outing, is that you can use it to cover up your car seat. If you don't want people to see your baby, you're tired of reactions, or you're just feeling a little bit nervous about taking your baby out. And since you already have this blanket with you, you wouldn't have to worry about bringing a whole separate car seat cover. One thing that I might be concerned about if I was going on an outing outdoors would be that the wind would take the blanket away with it just laying on top of the car seat. So I have these baby links, and not only can they be used as a toy that you can put in the car seat for your baby, but you can also use them as little clips to hold your blanket in place. One thing I think we can all agree on is that we do not want people to touch our dolls without asking. When I take my dolls out, I have had so many people just reach in and touch my doll without asking first. So finally, I found a solution to this problem. I have still had a couple of people touch my dolls without asking since I have purchased this sign, but this sign has helped a lot. So this is one thing that you can add to your car seat. Now we are going to buckle Bennett into the car seat. He is a newborn size, and of course he's a sleeping baby, so he's a little bit different than Eden. Since he is a sleeping baby, one thing that I always love to do with my sleeping babies is to make them look like they are leaning into the car seat, like their little head is just leaning into the car seat head support. Usually when I take Bennett out, I put scratch mittens on him because this one hand is not in a realistic pose that he would be holding it in for a long period of time, especially if he was sleeping. He's also a newborn, so him having scratch mittens on would not be unusual. This is also a baby that does not take pacifiers very well. He does have a magnet, but I do not have any pacifiers that really fit him, so I usually put a pacifier, a full pacifier, into the car seat with him. And I like to use a passy clip so that it doesn't get lost. A lot of the times I will just clip this to the car seat straps, or I will clip it to the car seat. Another thing that I sometimes put into the car seat with my newborn babies is a lovey so that he looks like he's cuddling with something. Of course, I usually use the blanket as well, just like I did with Eden. I think that that is all the tips and tricks I have for you guys when taking your reborn baby out in a car seat. The last one that I did forget to mention is to always make sure that your baby is dressed weather appropriately. So if it's cold outside, dress them up really warm. If it's hot outside, dress them up in some cooler clothing. And that's pretty much it for my tips. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, everyone.